Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It is Thursday. It is approximately noon Central Time. That means it is time for Dispatching Live, where we give load board search advice. We're going to search for loads. We already have in the live chat got a request for a Route Scout. So put in your Route Scout request. That's what this show is all about. We really do want to help. Also, do me a favor. You see that like button? After you hit that, look, you're looking right below the video. You click that share button, click that copy button. You can grab that link, text it, email it, share it on social media. Say somebody, hey, listen, these guys are going to be live for 90 more minutes. 90 more minutes. But get in line, put in your Route Scout, go into the live chat, and we want to help you search whatever you're looking for. Also, if you've got deep business questions, go to autotransportintel.com, sign up, and we'll put you in touch with Ty, because maybe you need more. Maybe you need more than a load board. We're going to find out. But let's find out together today and with my co-host, Sue. Sue, can you see us and hear us okay?
I can. How's everybody doing today?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. How are you doing today?
We are actually doing better. The loads, even though the loads have gone down, it's not been as much as a struggle for the last 2 days. We actually have been getting people loaded without pulling our hair out.
Nice.
So that's been nice.
Hey, that's good. What is the load board capacity right now on Central Dispatch? What are
we are at 34,379.
So we're only down about 1,000 from last week. Okay. Yeah. So even though it's down 1,000, and last week, I think at this time last week, it wasn't so hot.
It was horrible last week. It really was.
So the loads were in the wrong areas, maybe?
Yes. Wrong areas and not enough to go to, the same places, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. This week we've had a little bit easier time with it. I've sent a couple of these guys into some really wackadoo places, and we've still been getting them out. So, and sometimes that's what you have to do because, I was really worried. I took a 3-pack of vehicles from Atlanta going to Union City, Tennessee, which is kind of by like Sikeston, Paducah, that's kind of an odd area,
Kentucky,
right? So, so 74 Auto, which is a company out of Sikeston who does a lot of cars.
Yes.
They had, had one come up going to Dallas for $550. That's like $1 a mile.
Okay.
So we grabbed that. We're trying to grab another one that's on there from this other broker who keeps putting us off, telling us, oh, we'll call you back. We'll call you back. We'll call you back. You know how that crap goes.
Oh, no.
And then 74 puts up another load, and then they put up another load, and I was like, bing, dang, doom, we're done.
Ooh,
okay, so we're going to Texas. So it was nice because it was $550, and $600 to take them down there to Dallas area. So that worked out really nice.
Yeah, Sikeston is
south
of St. Louis, right?
Yeah, it is about 100 miles south of St. Louis, and it's not someplace I normally even do. It's just the load of 3-pack came up. So sometimes out of Atlanta, you got to do what you got to do to get them gone.
Yeah.
And Atlanta's been tough. It's really tough.
Really?
So we had to do that. Yeah. And we ran them to Dallas, and I actually ran them back to Missouri. We picked up another one for 74 Auto, bringing it back to them, and then a couple into St. Louis, and already got them loaded out of there and going home. So it kind of worked out. It doesn't always work out like that, obviously. But.
Hey, high five.
So
you might be able to chill the wine.
See. Yeah. Right. Might have time for that.
Time. That's right. Yes. There might be time to chill the wine. Love that. In the live chat, so you saw that Eduardo Castillo. He got in here early, like a half hour ago. Would love to see a load search from the state of Florida, Miami, to and from anywhere east, west, and or north up to the state border. Could include the Keys. All right, so you got that. That's search number 1.
So is that the way you're taking it? Is he just wants to stay in Florida? Is that way you're reading it too?
Right. I guess so, because he said the border.
It says right up to the state border. So I'm just going to put Miami, Florida.
I think he's doing Florida to Florida, yeah. Which
I don't know how many he's looking for, but we'll just
gets interesting. That. But there will be Florida.
There's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, there will
Because
be.
there's a lot of stuff that
And
goes that
that's a
way.
lot of. It's gonna be a lot of shit.
And usually they pay, really well. So I've got to put it up at a high enough rate so we see anything decent.
Good. I like
So
that call.
let's
That's
make it
right.
at least 75 cents a mile.
Right. She's putting in her search filter
Maybe
settings.
$150.
Yep. 75 cents a
Yeah.
mile
I mean,
minimum,
I don't think he wants
150K.
to do
Right. So
anything
that way we
for
don't see.
$100. Yeah.
We don't see like
Yeah.
the
I wouldn't do anything for $100. I mean, that's just me. So let's put at
I
least
wouldn't
150
either.
on here and see what.
But I know,
Holy crap!
there's a time and a
It
place,
was only
but
19.
I got to pay
I put
you, then I got to
multiples?
pay
No, I
them.
did not. I don't know how big of a car hauler he is either.
Yeah, Eduardo. Hey,
Like
Eduardo,
there's
what's
a
your
5-pack
capacity?
here.
So when you put in your route scout,
Yeah.
also please put in your capacity. And while we're checking on that, I just want to say hello to. Oh, you're in here. Hey, what's up, Murphy Auto Transport Services is in the live chat and also in the show. And then Devin Richards. Hey, what's up? Hey, Devin says, "Hey Jay, Victory Live Transport signing. Great show last Wednesday. The DOT show saved me a lot of time and headache. That's super cool. Yeah, thanks for tuning in to the DOT show. You can get your DOT FMCSA story questions answered. Story questions.
5. He's a 5 car.
Well, usually because it's not something simple, right? A DOT. That's actually why the show is now a standalone show. It's none of that stuff is really that simple. Ty sent me a link to a setting up your own authority. I made a copy of it. It's an hour-long video just to set up your authority. Everything is long-winded. FNS Trucking says, "What's up, Jay and Sue? What's going on?" Edward Castillo says 5 car. So there we go. Got that answer. And yeah. Sue is doing the search.
So I got a 5-pack here of Tahoes. I know that's not going to fit him.
Nope.
I don't know what kind of 5 car he has. The X3s are short, but it's going to be tough. I think on that too.
And the 2021s, I wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, if you're not set up right, you don't want to risk damaging something. It ain't like worth it. And they've got. I don't know how they think people are going to take these.
Making
have to be a
Bank
big car.
Is what I'm. In fact, I think that's Making Bank LLC. Might be. I had a guy on fire the other day. He wants to make some broker videos. Man, he was actually 2 people hit me up in the last week just going off on brokers. Oh my God, it was funny. Man. I mean, because you see it, like, when you get mad, when you get broker mad, there should be a broker angry, right? Because we've broke stupid is actually a thing. When you're broke stupid. Did you know this? Hey, by the way, did you know that when you're broke stupid, you require COD only? Does it make sense now?
Yeah. Yes.
And so then we need like broker angry, which is when you're so pissed off at brokers, you can't even see straight any longer. And that happens. I mean, it'll happen. Because when you get the hey, buddy, hey, and he's got his poker chips and his cards, and come on, man, I just want to haul some cars. Really?
Yeah, because we had an issue with a driver wanting all CODs, and like I explained to them, like, you probably shouldn't be on the road if you're needing all CODs, honestly, because this is a business. Even if you were another kind of business, you don't get your money always up front either. You need to have some kind of backing to live off of and run off of. Because if you're, let's say you're a 4 car and you can only take 2 cars because nothing else is COD, there's a problem right there in itself. And I couldn't work with somebody like that. Well, you got to give me some wiggle room. I can try to get you as much CODs as I can, but you got to give me some wiggle room, man. Or get a factoring company. I know that sucks, but I've got a lot of drivers that use a factoring company, and they only factor stuff that's over 10 days. They charge 3%. You get your money within 24 hours. And if you want, I've got a recommendation of somebody. If anybody wants one, send me an email, and I'll send you to the guy that most of my guys use, and they're bing, bang, boom. And just keep in mind, also, factoring companies, they also are based on your credit. That's how they decide whether they're going to do a lot of stuff with you and how much they're going to put out for you as well. So just keep that in mind as well. Let's see. Okay, so for Eduardo, there's not enough on here. Yes, the Eduardo, that is the whole state of Florida.
Yeah. So yeah, so what we
what I
did is
did.
when you do this search, oh, check. Let me do station identification here. I don't know why the audio changes. Sometimes it does. There's a ghost in the machine. Um, is So we don't search like when you search. Just so you know, just to be specific, we don't like add a bunch of cities in Florida. Just do Florida to Florida, the whole state. And then to make sure that you don't see every single like $5 load because they'll be there.
Right.
Do two things in your search filter settings. Number one, do a minimum cents per mile. Throttle that thing, you know,
Yep.
high, right? 75 cents per mile doesn't sound high, right? But it's high enough. And then your minimum pay of $150 per car, so you don't see any of those cheap cars. That's a good way to start.
And it looks, look for your general. Freight Tech listed a real short run of 54 miles here too with 2021 BMW X7s.
Right.
That's only going 54 miles. It's $1.67 a mile. I don't know if you're looking for short runs, but
yeah,
I mean, I also just changed the parameters so we can look at another page too for him.
Yeah.
But right now, I wouldn't pick up at 5 places, drop at 5 places with a 5 car, but here's another Freedom Auto. Let's see what this is. Oh, these are forklifts. You can't carry this.
Yeah, you're going to be doing a lot of driving around.
8,000 pounds, 8,000 pounds, 15,000
Oh my gosh, this load. Stop already. What is that?
That's the end. That deserves a red car. I mean, they're forklifts. And they think somebody's just going to pick them up for that. I know it's only going 250 miles, but nobody could carry that even. That doesn't even make any sense. That's crazy.
Now, here's the thing.
Here's a day cab.
I try to be fair because I'm the referee. Okay? So, yes, I understand it needs to be moved and it should be posted. Anywhere it can be posted, right? Yeah. Posted on Central, posted on DAT, posted on 123. But still, does that pay enough? Is a flatbedder going to do that?
No, because that's really heavy.
Isn't he going to spend half the day loading? And that's going to take a lot of work.
Well, could you even? I mean, you'd have to have. That's a big rig flatbed. That's what that is. That's the only one that could carry that.
I don't see it, man.
Because it's 16,000, 15,000, and 8,000. That isn't going on any old car hauler. I can tell you that.
The reference ID should be, this ain't going on a car hauler.
Yes, exactly. Hey Jen, can you call
also G&G just asking for a simple reference on loads leaving Detroit area to anywhere. Thinking of a 5-car semi not driving, so anyone with a real route scout is way more important.
Well.
So are we? We'll look into that, G&G. And plus,
we're going to talk about that because Detroit is an excellent area to load out of.
It really is.
But let's finish this guy first.
Absolutely.
I changed it to $100 instead, just to see what came out.
Yeah, good.
To give him a little bit more reference.
Right, and then so you throttle high, and then you start to throttle it down on your search, right?
Yeah.
Yes, there are enclosed trailers.
Start high.
So, like for example, there's
and pro tip: don't close that 150 window. Duplicate. Just right click. Keep a bunch of search windows open.
Right there.
Don't close windows. This ain't no time to have a neat desk.
So there's 2 from West Palm to Port St. Lucie. They're only $75 a piece. I mean, it's only 45 miles.
You're welcome. Bye.
Just some of this. Eeks. There's this one.
I like that
here.
Audi of Naples.
Just this one right
on
here.
Its face, and also I like because then Troy, what's going on, buddy? You like donuts?
The only problem is that if he's in Miami, he's going to drive 100 miles just to go to Naples.
No, that's right. The location's wrong, but I like the load.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, he was saying he'd go as far as the Keys. That must be up in the Keys. It's going to Gainesville, Florida for $300. It's not ready until the 30th. Always check over here on the
Hey,
side.
pro
'Cause I'll
tip,
tell you
always
when
check
it's
you're
ready.
ready.
This is a huge thing going to Jacksonville, probably to the port, I would guess. I don't know, but this is a big vehicle.
By the
Probably
way,
not gonna fit.
Ty's spazzing out in the live chat. Just post it. Let us roast it. We won't boast it if you don't toast it. I don't know what he's talking about.
RPM has another one going to Gainesville, Florida and Fort Lauderdale, but it's not ready till the 29th. The other one's ready till the 30th. So they kind of fit what you got going on right there. Dates are a little wacky though. That would be what would hurt me. Got a Fort Lauderdale that's an in-op. It's only going 9 miles for $100 for RPM.
And remember,
Here's
folks, don't get frustrated.
This
We've
is
only
short.
been searching. How long have we been searching? 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, 10
Drop
minutes,
in the
something like
bucket.
that.
Never get frustrated. Maybe after like 5 hours, that's when you get frustrated.
Yeah, that's for sure. A lot of these in-ops, I know that you're getting, this is $9, but I'm going to tell you right now, they'd pay more than that to a tow truck.
Mm-hmm.
A tow truck's probably going to charge $150, $200 for something like that.
This
is not a fork on,
there's
fork off.
There's a reason why Auto Transport doesn't talk to tow, right? Because if they did, man, there'd be a lot of Fs. Yeah. Because you're totally right. I mean, yeah, only a car hauler would fall for this. Tow truck guy's like, what are you talking about? And it's no comment on the company that posted it. That's not a comment on the company that posted it. Because this is like, it's just like when you go out to eat and you see the Japanese pond and you throw money in the pond. It's just, it's a gut reaction. And so we gotta, I don't know what I'm talking about. Ty got the F-bomb. Thanks, Ty.
All right. So, let's see, I'm getting...
Conditioning. It's conditioning. We've been conditioned. And we are about to uncondition.
What the heck is this? Oh, look. They're jukeboxes.
Jukeboxes?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sign me up. Enclosed trailer hilarious. Required? Oh my gosh, that's not a vehicle. What? What a great... See again. Man. Call somebody. That's a freight load, by the way. That is nothing. That load has nothing to do with auto transport. By the way.
Yeah, but
be like we've got like one of those American Flyer wagons with some avocados in it. It has wheels. Must be on a car hauler. A wagon with avocados. That'll be next. You're probably gonna, if you see wagon with avocados, please let me know. Send me an email. autotransportintel@gmail.com. We got some.
Just not.
We got some stuff in the live chat. Fulcrum Indicate. Okay. Awesome name. I got a client. We have to move 3,500 now from Baltimore to Temple Hill. Reached out to Roadrunner. Who else would be good for this? Did you see this?
As a broker?
Right. So
is that what he's saying?
I got a client.
Hey, I'm a broker.
Exactly. They're looking. This sounds like you're looking for sub haulers. You're looking for brokers, sub haulers, broker carriers, asset light carriers. I got a client. We have to move 3,500
so
now.
What does that mean?
So I'm going to go with 3,000 cars, but that is one heck of a contract. From Baltimore to Temple Hill. Where's Temple Hill? Is that Texas? Temple Hill.
No, it's Maryland, I believe. Right. He's talking from Baltimore to Temple Hill.
So maybe Maryland, this is a fleet. This could be like a rental. Could be like a rental move. Could be a fleet move. Could be a new car.
Passats. Yeah, if you look down, it's Passats.
Oh, they are Passats, I think. Interesting. Okay.
Put my email on there for you. I'm a broker as well.
Yeah, there's Sue's email address.
Baltimore.
Email Sue. Yeah. We'll get you hooked up. I'm sure Ty would be interested in that too. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, Fulcrum Indicate. Nice. Julissa Campasano says hello. What's going on, Julissa?
Hey,
Vlad.
Julissa.
Vlad
She
Fedotov.
is
Hey, what's
one of
up?
my dispatchers.
Yeah, so in fact, you have a Julissa. What? What are you saying?
We
She
need
needs
a
a driver.
driver.
Need a driver. Looking for a
Julissa's
driver.
looking for a driver. So if anybody's needing a dispatcher, Julissa is great. And she's got a spot.
Nice.
So let us know. We'll
Yeah.
hook you up.
Keep that in mind. Ty,
Let's
keep that in
finish
mind
with
too.
this guy.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
So really,
we'll come back
when
to
I
you,
even
Q.
changed it to 100, there's still not a whole lot on here. I'm sorry. This is, if you're looking, this would be something you're going to be refreshing constantly because these are going to be coming and going, coming and going. And honestly, as a 5 car, I would be looking for like multi-packs to make yourself move faster. You know what I mean? Now, we're just doing this out of Miami, so it's only 100-mile radius. It doesn't mean there's not stuff further down the way and coming back and that kind of thing. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to have probably 2 to 3 pages up while you're looking for these loads because you're going to be looking in different areas constantly.
Yeah.
Because they've already changed. We've already gotten more loads on here. So just keep that in mind when you refresh.
And
I use
go ahead, please.
auto refresh. It's not allowed, but you can do it.
Oh, the cat's out of the bag.
And you can you can do. I usually do 2 minutes. This is auto refresh. It's just an app for Google.
Ooh, how not to get busted with auto refresh. Right.
But I put it on 2 minutes. That way, if you put it on something less than that, it's going to refresh so much and they're going to catch you. And what they do if they catch you, it's not like you're going to jail, but they just shut off your account for 24 hours.
Yeah, do they still have the?
Just keep that in mind.
Do they still have the random button over there? Can you randomize it? I used to randomize it when I was doing it. Yeah, look, it looks different. Yeah. So because we used
there's 2 different ones.
Oh, okay.
That you can grab.
We used to choose a range, so it would do a random refresh from like 45 seconds to 65 seconds, so that it was so it randomized it enough. I always thought, man, is there like a tech sitting in a room full of blinking servers watching me constantly refreshing day after day, and he's thinking, I hate that guy. Did that happen? I don't know. I still want to know. There's a guy out there that knows the answer to this. He's like, yes, we hate you. You're always refreshing. We know it's not real. Oh, shoot, man. Yes. Sue is still searching. I just want to go back in. I don't want to miss. Ty says MK Ultra. Zap. Yeah, the Passats. Oh, Q Dorego. My DOT's getting active next week. Do newcomers have issue with brokers picking up loads?
Yes.
Well, vice versa. Brokers have issues with newcomers picking up loads.
Yes.
And there's a reason for that.
Yes, there are rules.
It blows, but yeah. Tell us more about it, Sue.
So when you're brand new, this business, you kind of have to earn your stripes, is what I always call it. Some of them do not care, but they're some of the bigger brokers that have been around longer. Some of them require you 6 months. Some of them require you 90 days. Some of you require a year. I've got a list of what everybody at the big brokers require. If anybody wants it, just send me an email and I'll send you what they require. In general, if they're a smaller broker or if they're import exporter or a dealership, they don't usually care as much. It's the bigger brokers like Right Way and Ready Auto and Cars Arrive and Metrogistics. They require certain things for you to either do or be in business for so long because they don't want you to make the mistakes on their loads. They want you to make them on other people's loads as you're learning how to do this, basically, is the way I see it.
And as Ty says,
also, it does help like
happen,
ratings.
But
yes, absolutely.
But they don't want
and they usually do happen in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah. And they also, a lot of them are on ratings. They want you to have so many ratings, and the only way you can get ratings is by doing loads. So You
Catch
want to do,
22.
like for example, Metro Districts. Yeah, Metros requires 20 ratings before you can haul for them. So you're always, so just so you know, as a brand new person, as you're doing loads, you need to be giving ratings to the company you hauled for and asking for ratings in return to build that up on Central so that they can see it. It will help you. Trust me. You want to do that. And sometimes I've had a lot of people say, well, I've called them and asked them to give me a rating, but if they if you do that and they don't do it, then I suggest doing what I do, which is I send out an email to them through Central saying, hey, thanks for letting us haul this load for you. We're brand new. Could you please give me a rating? I just gave you one in return. Usually if they get that email, they just click on it and go give you a rating. So just try that as well, because you want to get as many ratings as possible.
I used to in the dispatch office, if I was just staring at screens and just kind of moderating and mediating and whatever.
Yeah.
That's when I would make follow-up calls for the drivers and say, hey, I'd call that broker. Hey, we just delivered for you. You should have everything you need. I want to make sure you have the invoice and BOL. This is a great opportunity to also do that, right? Did you receive our invoice and BOL? And also, hey, I really appreciate you guys. Love to work with you again. I would do this. Yeah. I just gave you a positive rating. Just now I clicked it. Do me a favor. Will you go in and give us a positive rating? We want to haul for you again. Really appreciate it. Have a great day. What? That took what? A minute? And and that's two birds with one stone, because a lot of drivers will ask their dispatchers, will you follow up with the broker? They don't say it that way. What they say is, make sure I get paid, right?
Yeah.
And what they really mean is, do me a favor, make that phone call, because I'm bumping down the road and I don't want to drop this in-off.
Right.
In-off? I said in-off. In-off. The heck is an in-off? Somebody's going to... I'm asking you in the live chat, what is an in-off? So how are we doing on this Florida thing? What do we say? What's our we gave the advice, right?
Like I said, you're gonna have to.
You have to
we gave them advice,
and that's the thing.
You just gotta keep searching.
When it's in state to this, when it's inside of a state to state, Texas, California, you're gonna have to stare at a lot and get to know it, and get to know brokers. It's harder. Because you are now on the verge of building relationships, and that's the Friday show.
Yep, and that's what you'd want to talk to Ty about this if you're wanting to do inside the state. He's really good with Florida. I think he's got a couple drivers that he's taught how to do this in Florida, in fact. So, and it is, if anytime you're doing in state to state stuff, you have to build relationships. You can't go off this board. It will kill you. You will not stay in business.
Yes.
Honestly.
And anytime I've had that. Right. Anytime. Now, when you're learning dispatch, sure, I'll search city to city. But over time, once you get settled in, and the driver's like, hey, this is great. I can't believe we're going to work together. I'm so excited. I travel 50 miles. Yeah. You're like, really?
Yeah.
We just spent 3 hours getting to know each other, and you just popped that on me, bro. I'm out of here. You may as well have just said, I only want cash only loads. In fact, that's the name of my company, Cash Only LLC.
I wish. All right. So should we talk about the Detroit thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to bring up.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I've got Detroit up to all with the minimum of $1 a mile, and we'll see how many come up. So Detroit is where we love to send drivers to if they're willing to go there, because they pay so well coming out. Let's see how many come up at $1 a mile. I bet you there's quite a few, but we'll see. And I didn't put a minimum of 2. So 382 are already at $1 a mile. What does that tell you? That is a good area to be in. You will never have a problem getting out of Detroit as long as you can carry. Just keep in mind, a lot of stuff out of Detroit is big. It's Detroit City, so you're talking about trucks and stuff like that. I don't know how many big he's thinking of a 5-car semi. You can work it still, though. I've got a guy that's a 5-car. He lives in Toledo. We pull loads out of like Carlton, the Manheim there all the time. So, so looking at this right here, you can see there's plenty of loads out of there. Now, coming back to Detroit, may not be as fun. I'll just pre-warn you. It's hard to get loads to come back that area. So you got to figure, this is the way I always look at it. If you're in a prime location like Detroit, you're going to get all your maximum amount of money out, coming back in and maybe slim pickings, but it's going to have to compensate for that. If
Amen.
That makes sense.
Amen.
It's like, look, even here, like Rat has, which is, sorry, Ready Logistics is Rat is what I call it.
Yeah.
Has one here going down to Louisville, and it's $1.36 a mile. And Franklin, Kentucky, I'm not sure where that's at. That's $1.09 a mile. It's obviously more because if you look at 508 and 352, it's probably south of there. But there will be plenty of loads to pick out of Detroit. Anytime I can manage to get any of my drivers in Detroit, I'm like jumping up and down.
It's like Chutes and Ladders, the game. You know that
yes.
that one spot with the really high chute? That's Detroit.
Yes, that and Cleveland. I like Cleveland too. Yeah. So they're usually paying very well. So yes, you will never have a problem out of there. Okay. Now you said something else. Okay, we talked about the guy with the nuke that's new, right? Anybody else looking for something?
And by the way, so are we wrapped up on Detroit? I mean, that's the thing. Detroit is
I mean, there's no he's
he's
just asking, I think, what's on there. He doesn't even have his truck yet, so we're just kind of telling him that
Gotcha.
He should make bank out of there, basically.
Thank you, Julissa. That's awesome. Our next search is for Q Dorego, northeast to all. That's an interesting search, northeast to all. Now, for some people, they're like, why would you even say that's interesting? I do that every day. It's an interesting search.
What? Yeah. I usually don't do it like that.
Hey, you're welcome, Gigi. Thanks for asking. Appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. By the way, there are no stupid questions here.
Nope.
This is the Crazy Show, and we will talk about whatever it is that, needs talking about. This is dispatching. And some don't even believe that this is a legal occupation. So there are no stupid questions. Ask it, share it. If you missed the show live, put it in the comments below. Please leave a like, and thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
Just sent you.
Oh, Vlad, I like you, man. Everything what I found on YouTube about this job, it's just your video. I appreciate it. Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate it too. I used to be a dispatcher, and so it was kind of my dream to put a show like this together at the time because dispatching is so hard, and there wasn't anybody to talk to about it except for a couple people I worked with. And when we find out, there are dispatchers everywhere. We're all going through the same thing. So thank you so much.
Okay, so we are going to have to narrow this down because we got 8,000 loads here. So if he could give us a little bit more specifics, that would help.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't go through 8,000.
All right. So I always like to do this. Let's assume your driver said, "Say no to cheap freight," says Vlad. That's right.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, that's the one thing everybody can agree on. And even the broker that takes that low ball deal, he regrets it. She.
Let's do that. Let's raise the, because I didn't put a certain amount of money. So let's do that. I bet that cuts that way down here in a second.
But if you were
let's put a minimum.
And wouldn't you think, when I think Northeast, I think like Boston.
Yeah, I'm thinking Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts,
Rochester,
upstate New York.
Yeah.
That kind of thing is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Let's put a minimum pay per vehicle of what, like 70 cents a mile or 60? Let's put 60 cents.
Or more. Yeah. Whatever you think.
I'm going to put 60, and then we're going to put a total minimum pay of
300.
I wouldn't do anything less than $200. Let's just do that.
All right,
see
cool.
what we come up.
All right, cool.
Then if we have to go back, we can go back.
Hey, Fritz Duval is here. What's going on, Fritz? Thank you so much for saying hello.
Why am I roaming?
Okay, that didn't help us a lot. We went down to 4,700.
Really? Well, that's the thing. I think, given Northeast,
there's a lot up in Connecticut.
Throttle up your cents per mile. Go higher on
Yeah,
the cents
I
per
think
mile.
so.
Go higher on the minimum pay. We want some gold bars here. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get it. Let's go panning for gold.
All right. So 0.70, let's say $300. I mean, if you had an idea, I can tell you what runs out of Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, where they go in general, if he's looking for a specific thing. I mean, all that stuff usually ends up in New Jersey or New York, just so you guys know. Oh, good God. Now we're at 3,000 votes. Wow.
You're gonna go through 3,000. Yeah, we need a city. Is that right? We need a starting. We need a more of a starting area. Like, so here's the question, Q to Rego. Are we thinking like Boston, upstate New York, maybe lower down towards Jersey? What are we looking at?
Because I mean, you can pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes to New Jersey and New York out of those places. I mean, that's the biggest thing that comes out of there. But coming back up out of those places are like no go. Like it is very hard to find vehicles in New Jersey and New York that go back up to Connecticut and Massachusetts. I had a driver with a 4-car. He did this almost every other day, and he would usually go home empty because of that. There's nothing to take it back up. On top of it, you got to realize the traffic between those places is horrendous.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what shows it's like, what is usually Connecticut to New Jersey? Here's one right here.
Hey, I was right. It's Boston. Look at that.
Cool.
Cool.
Okay, so
cool.
right here.
Thank you.
New Britain. We would pick up from New Britain all the time to Newark, New Jersey. Okay, you see how it's paying? It's paying really good.
Yeah.
Because anything right now is wintertime, they're paying really well. All right. Right. So it's only 126 miles. However, that 126 miles can take you up to 8 to 10 hours to drive back sometimes.
Wow.
Because you come back in that area when it's traffic city and it's horrible.
Wow.
So just keep that in mind. So let's put in Boston then. And where in Boston are we going? Anyplace?
Hey, by the way,
Massachusetts, Boston. But
pause. Daryl Moss wants to get a hold of you, Sue.
Okay.
So, hey, Daryl, do us a favor because she does want to talk to you. The office gets busy, but here's what I'm gonna do. I shared the link to your site, Murphy Auto Dispatch, which is murphyautotransportservices.com. There's the email address, and then I'll also, I'm just gonna put in the phone number too. Now, mind you, this is a busy dispatch office. You can hear it in the background.
Yep.
So if you don't get a response right away, give it time, and she will contact you back. And because Sue's my co-host right now, so she's here.
I can't talk to you.
Yeah, she can't talk. She's busy right now. She can't talk.
Can't talk right now. But you can call right now. There's a couple people that would answer and talk to you if you want to.
Yeah,
too.
cool.
Usually they're the ones that talk to you anyways, because I'm usually loading my drivers and stuff like that. So.
Oh, and
all right, so I'm gonna go to Boston.
Yeah, go to Boston and Q Dorego, Boston, 9-car day cab. That's interesting. You might, Q Dorego, you might want to talk to Ty. I don't know if you're already signed up on autotransportintel.com, and you don't have to. Listen, I understand. You know, you sign up for this, you sign up for that. Man, I got more mail and all this stuff. I get it. But if you want to talk to Ty, and you don't have to sign up to talk to Ty. Here's 417-483-2764. Give him a call. And by the way, we do have a roundtable. We have Groundhog's Roundtable coming up Tuesday night. This coming Tuesday night is Groundhog's Car Hauling Roundtable, where we're going to talk all about transporters growing their businesses. So you might want to tune in for that too. I'm sorry, I cut you off. You were saying you're doing your search filters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Daryl said I don't know if he called or emailed, but sometimes you guys' emails will go into spam, and I don't always catch them. So
right, I have the same problem. And you know what? Sometimes people leave a YouTube comment, and it gets caught in the review net, and I don't see it for a month. I hate that. So these things happen. What can you do?
Oh.
Okay. So, and there was no dimensions.
So she's setting up her search filters. It's a big part of it. We do have. We're about halfway through the show, so we're gonna go for another 45, 50 minutes. We got. Oh, Muggo Problems is back. This right here. I haven't done Muggo Problems in a long time. This is from when I did my dispatcher training series. All kinds of stuff that might go wrong. Let's pull one out of the mug. What do we got here? If a if a load pays good, it's nearly impossible to just book it. That is so true. Oh, you can't see it. If a load pays good, it's nearly impossible to just book it. Wow. Yeah,
and if it looks too good to be true, it's probably is too good to be
because
true.
even if you get them on the phone, the hoops. Yeah. And that's this is one of the hard parts of dispatching. Look at that was just one Muggo problem. As a dispatcher, if your driver's looking at the load board, and that's good. But they'll be like, yeah, just get that one, that one, that one. You're like, yeah. Just get that one, that one, that one. Uh-huh. Yeah. An hour later, we got one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately,
that's how it is.
It doesn't always work to our advantage, for sure. Okay. So I've changed it to 70 cents a mile with a minimum of $350. It brought us down to 326. All right, let's see what we got. So we all know that Boston is right next to Connecticut. They're all small states, so most of the stuff you'll go through to come out of. Let's see if there's an actual load.
Yeah.
This apparently is the same vehicle.
Uh-oh.
This is double brokered.
Double listed.
Yeah, that's the first one. And let's see what else we got. And while we're doing that, I'm requesting a load from Metrogistics as well.
You know what? So when you see a double listed load, go fish. Do not book it. Don't.
Yeah,
just don't mess with it. Just do something else.
Well, I don't know if I will mess with it. I'll be honest with you. I usually call the one that's priced the highest.
I will mess with it.
But what I tell them is, hey, there's another broker, or there's 5 brokers, or whatever's going on, and it's listed multiple times. I need to know, that we're the only ones that are going to pick it up, that kind of thing. And I will even call the pickup place and give them my company name and say, we're the only ones that are picking up this vehicle. Please do not give it to anybody else. Most of the time that works. I've had on occasion it doesn't. So I always keep my eye open for another car just in case something like that happens and the car isn't there or something like that. Even when you verify it, someone could have picked it up in between the time you're coming and the time we verified it in hours.
So you'll mess with it, but you still know that there could be a trap door. Because sometimes there's not enough experience to figure out what's going on. Sometimes you just don't know. I mean, sometimes, there could be someone in the background, but get that carrier, but we already got it taken care of.
Yeah.
And we talked about last week, like overbooking flights. But car hauling's not like that. A broker can overbook, but a carrier can't overbook. What are you going to do? You're going to book 4, but you only haul 3, and then you're just going to leave 1? Can't do that.
Hush. I do that.
Oh, she said she does that. What?
I keep a backup plan. I always have a backup plan. If there's another one on there that I know they're not going to get ticked off if I have to cancel something, I have a backup.
She is savvy, yo. Man, that's awesome.
Well, my problem is, sometimes the drivers aren't going to make, like you have cars at Copart or someplace that, like, the dealership says you can't only pick up till 4 o'clock, which I think is absolutely ridiculous when they stay open till 8. But it happens all the time. And
who is that?
So, well, there's dealerships a lot of times. I can't tell you specific ones, but I'll call to get it the times. Yeah. And they're like, well, you can only pick up till 4 because I only work till 4. And you're like, can somebody else?
I have done this. Pretty please with sugar on top.
Yeah. So when I've had that happen and I'm worried about my driver making the time, I'll take an extra one from Cars Arrive, from Ready Auto, somebody who's not going to get ticked off at me if I have to cancel. Let's just put that.
And and this is this is a whole nother thing as far as like when a dealer's like, well, your guy's got to be here by 4. Dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
The car is going
Yeah.
1,000 miles. We're not even in your state right now. Don't do
Yeah.
that. And like you just said, we
Yeah.
know you're there till 8. Stop
Yeah.
with the stop. Just,
I mean, we'll call them out on
just
it.
cool
We'll
your
call back
jets.
and say, so
Right, this is where the
online it
toothpick
says you're
comes
open
in.
till 8.
Listen, buddy.
That kind of thing.
just cool your jets.
Yeah.
And then you get, how about then you get the dispatch from the broker that's like, don't talk to the customer. It's a 2-hour pickup window. Da-di-da-di-da. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. They do it all the time.
Da-di-da-di-da.
Anyways.
Okay.
So-
and by the way, here Mike, you're next on the search. We're still on Boston. But
There's a 4-pack out of East Boston right here.
I have already filled it
Going to
Ooh.
North Bergen for $750 for
Hey.
RPM. I don't know what he's looking for exactly or how far he's wanting to go.
and he's a 9
If
day.
I was gonna
he's
go-
a 9 day. He's a 9-car day cab, so that's good.
Oh, is that what he is?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's looking
All
good.
right, well, then we
Did you
should
see
do
that
multiples
one?
then. Let's see. If we're a 9-car, then let me change the parameters a little bit more then. We don't want to see individual pickups. You're never going to do that, especially where you're coming out
Yeah,
of. unless
right,
you're at
exactly.
nighttime or
We're gonna.
something like that.
So she's gonna switch up the
So
search
let's
filter
do-
to clusters. Michael Watson will check in with you next. So thank you so much for the request. That's awesome.
We're going to do a minimum of 2.
Okay, she's setting her
Filters
search
pretty rough.
filters. When you're looking at the load board, you are throwing a dart. You're using your experience. Let's see if we can get that bullseye. Come on, lucky 7s.
So there's actually quite a few minimums here. So this, I don't know if you know where this is at, but Marquette, I think, is almost to the border of Canada. So I don't know if I would do that. I know it's paying
True.
good, but good God, getting out of there. is
Oh,
gonna be a
Marquette?
pain.
No, I've never booked there. Marquette's up there with North Dakota. Never done it.
Yeah. Here's a 5-pack all the way to St. Louis. It's only 48 cents a mile, but for a 9-car, that's actually not bad money. East Windsor, I believe.
Look at that. Hey, look at
is,
that. JMN load on the screen and a JMN question in the live chat. Phone's ringing.
Oh,
I
is
just
it?
said
Really?
JMN.
Okay.
What? Oh, yeah. So Fritz says, hey, Sue, does JMN have cheaper rates?
Yes.
She said,
You hear the derision in
I
my
was
voice,
going to
right?
shrug my shoulders,
Yes.
but she just, wow. Whoa.
I'll just lay it out there. Yes.
Man, she just, she
Sometimes-
just threw it down.
Yeah, sometimes you can get really good loads from them if they are desperate. Like they've had crap on there. But my problem
Sue's
with
got a
JMN,
flag
a lot
on the
of
play.
times stuff is really big. Yeah. Sometimes they're really big vehicles. Like if you're loading out of St. Louis for JMN, and almost all their stuff is 2,500, 5,500s, 1,500s. And they don't go very far. They're usually going into Kentucky and stuff like that. And they also don't pay what they should be paying for like a big load like that. Every once in a while, if it's a single unit, me and Jen will haul it. And because obviously it's because if they're in desperation, they've raised the rate. And you can try to ask them for more money, but they usually do not come up on price. I will tell you that. But actually, I mean, this is for 48 cents a mile. It's not bad. You
Yeah.
have
And
one, two,
and it's down to the
2
decimal.
cars in there.
Right? I always love
Yeah,
that.
you have
The
40.
decimal, if you see
You
a
do have to use
decimal,
their app,
if you see
by the way.
if you see a decimal, that means no negotiation.
Yeah. Yeah. That's code.
Right. It's code.
Um,
By the way, look, I love this. Ty's got it. Here's the reason why you got it there. You have to be at the dealership by 4 because Bill has the keys, and Bill is the only one that knows how to hand keys to a car hauler.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
It's awesome. Thank you, Ty. Man, I needed that one. That is so funny.
So there's a 4-pack going to Nashville on here, but it's 3 pickups. That might be kind of.
Ooh, yeah, you're getting a little.
Yeah.
You're getting a little
And
size
it's an
wise for
Expedition
54
too.
cents a mile.
Yeah,
Although it's
Expedition
COD,
is as
look at
big as a
that.
pickup.
But
Yeah.
they're trying
I don't
to
know.
but they're trying to sweeten the pot by throwing dollars in, right? Hey, we got look at that. I mean, because when you see that we got 2,400 COD, shoot, man.
Yeah.
But when then
Here's
when you load it,
Here's a 9-pack that says it's mix 4 cars, 5 SUVs going down to Atlanta for $3,000. It's 33 cents a mile. I would ask for more money, obviously, but you're not going to get them up to 50 cents a mile. I will tell you that. You might get them up to 35 or 40. I don't know this broker, and if you look, they're brand new. You can always tell. It says it's 16 ratings. He doesn't have very many.
All right, click on it. Let's learn. Pro tip: know your broker, because your broker's going to want to know you.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Wendy's number.
They've been
Give
in
Wendy a
business
call.
since 1999.
Wow.
Why do they only have that many ratings? That's kind of crazy.
So they either have a Rolodex or, yeah, you're gonna want to give them a call.
They may not list.
But be nice.
They may not list cars.
Don't be like, hey, I want to just, hi man, how you doing?
Yeah.
Right? What's going on?
Yeah, just hey, I need this much money out of this. I'm up in. I mean, I know you guys get weather up there in Boston all the time, so you have to compensate for that. And I don't think sometimes these guys. I mean, sometimes you have to dig these cars out of the auctions. Like literally, you're out there shoveling.
And I'll tell you what, mix, right? Listen.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why you couldn't post what those are? I know it's 4 cars and 5 SUVs.
You know why?
Why?
I'll tell you why.
I want to know.
Because they're lazy.
Oh, ouch! Yikes!
I'm telling you,
Sue's got another flag on the play.
That's
Man,
what it is.
She is calling it out. Dang! Here, this one's for Sue. Careful! Wow.
A lot of the ones that list these multi-cars do it like this because they don't want to list them all out. I don't know why. I hate it because I want to know exactly.
Hey, Mike's got a great question in the live chat. This one's for you, Sue. What do you do when people say they're paying COD, you show up, they want to do Cash App or write a check?
Happens all the time, Mike. In fact, I had it happen again today, and what I had him do was give me a picture of the front and back of the check for the driver instead, so he could just mobile deposit it. It all depends. To me, it depends on who the broker is, whether you can trust them. You want to go check their ratings and stuff like that. If they've had other issues with non-payment or late payment, you might want to not do it that way. You may say, hey, go get me cash, then bring it here. Now, COD on Central doesn't mean cash, just so everybody knows.
Right.
It means cash, certified funds, or company check. So company check is usually what we get. It's very rarely cash.
Technically, COD, when they switch up the COD, they haven't done anything wrong, have they?
No.
No.
That's only if you're doing Cash App.
When I do when I dispatch, if it says COD, I sometimes I would say, is that cash? The guy once say, what's cash? I'm like, cash, yo.
Like literally cash in your hand.
Money in hand.
Bills. Yes. But most everybody does company check. I mean, and we won't take personal checks.
No
like if you're going
checks.
to a residence, never take a personal check. Always call at least, I always do on residence, I always do 24 hours plus 2. That way they know they need to have cash ready for you, or at least a certified check or something like that. Money order. Personally, like if it's my brokerage and I've got a residence, I always tell them to have cash.
Exactly.
And they'll give you a receipt.
If it's a resident, it's okay, unless there's something with the broker you're working with. Call the resident ahead of time and just be straight up.
Yeah.
They actually don't mind. They know.
No. And
say, listen,
and honestly,
the driver's going to be there in 2 days. Are you doing cash?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you doing cash?
Yeah.
Like money?
Because otherwise the driver shows up and they're like, oh, we didn't go to the bank.
Oh my God, I've had that.
This happens all the time.
We're going to go to the bank? What do you mean we're going to the bank?
Yeah. Yep. I've literally had this one lady.
We're going to the grocery store too?
We can hit her own car. Yeah. In her own car to go to the bank to get the money.
No.
Because she didn't have a driver's license.
Now, sometimes, if it's a student and they don't have means or ways or whatever, you just want to know that up ahead of time, right?
Yes.
It's okay to do a favor, but you don't want to have that surprise.
Right. And you want your drop to be done in 30 minutes. You don't want to wait 2 hours because they're driving to the bank to get your money.
The car looks great. You did a great job. Thank you so much. I'm going to run to the bank. Will you walk the dog? And also just make sure the eggs don't boil?
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Here's some more. There's a 4-pack, two
Cash,
4-packs
cash.
here. Look at that.
Ooh.
There's two 4-packs for ACI. Now,
North Carolina. Ooh,
here's the
ACI.
deal.
Right, okay.
And here's another 3-pack. They've
Runs
got a whole
has
bunch
keys
of them on here,
operable.
actually.
Yeah,
Now,
ACI.
I'm going to tell you the lowdown on ACI.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. So here's the thing. They're working with CarMax quite a bit now.
Okay.
ACI is. And
Okay.
I guarantee this is probably CarMax.
Yeah.
Because there is a CarMax place in Hartford right there. Because we used to pick up from them. And look, even Carvana has some of their own. I'm sorry, it's not CarMax. It's Carvana. Sorry.
Carvana.
Anyways,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
what they've been doing lately
CarMax,
is
Carvana. What the?
yeah, they're all kind of the same company. It may be CarMax, anyways. But needless to say, we've been picking up some stuff from ACI, from Tennessee, from St. Louis, from Oklahoma, and they will tell you right in their contract that you may show up there and they may have sold one of these cars out from underneath you, or it may have disappeared for some reason.
Ooh, look at
They
that,
will-
Julissa.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
Julissa's had it happen.
Wow.
She's had it happen a few times.
So you
And-
had a dispatch, but some of the cars were gone?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
ouch.
And they will try to switch you out other vehicles, but you know how that works. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't.
No, it doesn't really
So,
work
but they
out.
will tell you up front
These are cars,
that
not
it may happen.
avocados,
Yeah.
you know. It's like,
Right.
yeah, well, just
Well, and if you
pick a
look
different
like-
tomato. No, it's not exactly.
Yeah. If you were doing this load here, like he could probably do 2 of these, and they will probably make him a 9-pack if you called them
And here's the thing is,
and tell them what
that-
you're running.
that's what I was
they
going to
will
say
work
is that
with
ACI transport, even though they're Sue just gave you a negative, which might be because of who they're working with, but and the volume, etc. But the guys at ACI, Jesse, and anyways, they're pretty nice guys. So yeah, talk to them.
Yeah.
Can make it work.
Well, I'm not giving them a negative. I'm just
Right,
saying it may
right.
happen because, and they tell you up front. They're not
And that's
hiding
cool.
anything from
I like that.
Yeah,
They tell
they
you.
let you know up front that this may happen, and they usually always try to give you, another vehicle, to replace whatever has disappeared on you.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always work either, Sometimes.
Well, and that's why
It
they're
works,
telling you.
sometimes
So that's the thing,
Yeah.
right?
But I
What
mean,
is
if
it,
this guy lives
caveat
up in that
emptor,
area,
or what's that
Yeah.
Julius Caesar thing?
well,
Buyer
and if this
beware,
guy lives
buyer
up in this
beware,
area,
right?
yes.
Car hauler beware.
and you set up with ACI, they may call you direct from now on, and you just tell them, this is my run, send me whatever you got too. So you could have a good connection with them, and they give you all their loads. And if you're a 9-car, that's what you want. You want companies that have multiple packs like this, because you don't want to drive around everywhere and pick and drop and pick and drop.
It's very interesting you're saying that because, and here we go, check the microphone again. Mic check, station identification. 1, 2, check, check, check. Speaking of relationships and communication, because you're talking about ACI, it just so happens, check this out. It sounds like United Road is going to talk in March. I think I'm going to have United. Yeah, I think I'm going to have United Road on a Tuesday night in March. And it's about that. It's about, getting closer to the Rolodex on what they want to see. And this is the thing is, and then we had a JMN question in here. You're never going to fully get away from the larger companies with larger volumes. That's why you want to have a relationship with as many companies as possible. So anyways, that's the Holly Pro program, and we're going to find out more about it. So it's pretty exciting. Auto Transport Intel.
So does that mean if United Road comes on, that we'll get ready Auto Transport to come on?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've been saying this. I'm so excited to do that. And I work real, believe me, it's not easy getting this stuff put together. But, yes, I think this year, we're going to see some companies come on that it seemed impossible. Yeah, I think this is going to be a big year.
Well, I mean, I do those things for Ready a lot, at least what I do, I'm like 3 or 4 times a year where I'm talking to them and telling them what's going on in this world. I think they don't really grasp, those focus groups don't grasp what we're doing. I can tell you that right now. And that's usually who I'm talking to. We need to talk to people that are actually there, maybe listing the cars, brokering the cars, somebody that we can kind of give them the info what we deal with out in the real world, because I mean, even I don't get what the guys deal with out in the real world because I'm sitting behind a desk,
Right.
but I'm on their side of it. You know what I mean?
Yep,
And I
that's
don't
right.
think always the big brokers see the bigger picture with an actual. I don't think that they see them
No.
as a person. They just see, oh, that's another
Right.
company
It's
kind of
yeah,
thing.
it's
You
just
know
a
what I mean?
mouse click, you know. And
Yeah.
I was watching. Actually, I was tuning in. There's a Cox Automotive 10-day event happening right now. Okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
today was day 4. Although, anyways, I'm not going to get into it, but a lot of it's pre-recorded. So be it.
Right.
And I was watching a pre-recorded video today, and it had to do with Auto Trader and delivery. So that gets into, I would guess, under the Cox banner, Auto Trader, it's going to be connected to somehow Ready Logistics or Central Dispatch or both, but I think Ready, because Ready is more of their Rolodex of carriers, etc. Anyways, yeah, you know, by the time the presentation, you know, gets to delivery, yeah, I think it's just mouse clicks, and so yeah, we're putting a name to a face, connecting carriers to executives and chairs. And it's important. It's really important to this industry to try and get everybody to understand each other. Mike is talking about best way to get reviews. We're still searching for Massachusetts. Let's put a bow on Massachusetts. We got a couple other stories we want to get to.
So Massachusetts looks like there's plenty of loads going through ACI, obviously.
Okay, that's the recommendation, maybe.
I mean, there's a lot of loads.
Look at that.
Look,
More,
they've got more ACI loads going down into Greensboro.
Yeah.
These are actually paying a little bit more. This is not.
Now, in a day.
27
Oh, yeah. But in a day cab, he's going to be, you know, 750 miles. Obviously, it's not a day trip.
No, but I mean, it's no different than driving in a pickup truck. You have to stay in a hotel too.
I agree.
So I mean, it just depends.
I'm sure
on,
he's used to. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could make that. Could you make that? Could you pick up and deliver in one day? Do you think? No.
To Charlotte?
Yeah.
No. It's 800.
There's a couple guys who are like, yeah, of course.
I have a couple drivers who say yes, of course, too. But
yeah, of course.
Are we talking legally?
All day long.
Okay, there's a different thing altogether.
What's NELD?
I would probably, honestly, I'd hit up ACI and try to schmooze some people and talk to them and get a contact over there and say, you know, looks like you got a lot of loads out of my area. I'm a 9-car. Can you hook me up with some stuff? Now, base it off of what's listed here. Don't let them try to undercut what's, you know what I mean? Because here's the thing, because look at this. I don't know. They've got this 9-car listed for only 27 cents a mile, but then they have a 4-pack here listed for 53 cents. Then there's another 3-pack listed for 54. So you have some negotiating in there.
Nice.
I would work on, you know, saying, okay, I can fit this on my trailer. What kind of rate can you do for me? Because if you look on here, most of this stuff is ACI.
There's a bunch
I mean,
of
there's
stuff.
a lot on there.
Yeah. Wow. Good.
They must have got the contract up there in Massachusetts and Connecticut.
And you know what?
This is a lot.
Good for them. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because ACI,
awesome.
they're a growing organization, but they're not the largest. But you know, good for them. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. I met
if they've
them
got
at,
that many, they have grown a lot over the last year.
I met them at, I think it was Used Car Week 2019.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna put
some for wholesale too. If you don't want to go very far, look at these.
What do you got?
I've got North Dighton to Queensbury, New York, $1,225.
I like
74
that
cents
too.
a mile for
Call wholesale too.
And look, they've got 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Now this is all SUVs. This one is 1 car and 6 SUVs. I would think you'd be able to do this one. I don't know about that one. But that's good money for short miles. I mean, there's your day cab run right there.
Right, and it looks like they got some kind of contract. So yeah, I like that too.
And look, they've got several of these
Wholesale
on
Express.
Here.
That's 2.
Now wholesale does have a rule for signing up with them.
Oh yeah.
So we should maybe cover that real quick.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
You have to have 20 ratings in the last 60 days, and you have to have been in business for 6 months. Otherwise, you can't sign up for them. So if you're not already signed up with them, then you may.
I think a dog went crazy. I think we lost.
Yes, they did. I had someone walk in my office. Sorry.
Okay.
But anyway, so wholesale, if you can sign up with them or already signed up with them, that's local stuff. That would be what I consider local stuff, because it's only 250, 350 miles. And now I don't know about coming back, just so you know, but this will definitely get you someplace if you wanted to do that.
Look at this.
It's not bad.
Chris Chamberlain in the live chat says ACI picked up CarMax over Ready. Wow.
Ready wasn't really doing. Are you just saying that Ready offered them a deal? I'm assuming.
I don't know, but I mean,
But CarMax was.
I don't know, but
CarMax is RPM and United Road. Usually, that's the two heavy hitters on CarMax. So
you were thinking that was Carvana. I don't know.
No, but it's CarMax. I said it was Carvana or CarMax, one of the two. Yeah. So, but yeah, CarMax was all United Road.
Right.
And
that's right.
RPM.
They were.
Even Metro has a few CarMax stuff. So maybe they dropped United Road. That's possible. For that many loads to be up there. That's
but there's different. I think there's different regions and etc. So there's many ways to slice a pie. Okay, so New York to Florida. Mike is up next.
Okay.
Mike
New York to Florida. We're
is saying
New York. Any place?
Man, this was a while ago. We've been talking and talking. Upstate New York, Albany, Syracuse, Utica, to Orlando, or along the way, 3-car hauler. Under 12,000.
So he doesn't have a CDL.
Now, Mike, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to pull rank on you, Mike. That was uncalled for, right? I apologize. But the weight restrictions, especially at that distance, it makes us hard. Yeah, it just makes us, what's the adverb here, Sue?
Well, I don't usually do.
Should I go to the Muggo problems?
Well, here's the thing. If you are restricted by how much you got to carry, it makes the dispatcher's job very hard. It probably makes make what you're trying to do very hard as well, because on average, the cars nowadays weigh about $4,000 right there. Right, so that means you either got to look for little itty tiny cars, or you're going to be looking. If you took a truck, you're going to have really itty bitty tiny cars, or your trucks are just completely out of the picture. You're not taking anything.
This is how you send your dispatcher to the afternoon martini. Really? Oh, we have another restriction. Whoops.
So I put up Albany to Orlando, and we've only got 16 loads. Look at this first one, which is ridiculous. It's 16 cents a mile, and it's in Connecticut.
16 cents a mile. Yeah. Can I carry it with the jukeboxes and the avocados? Because I'm going out of business.
Yeah. No. Come on. Like, is that just a fender? I mean, you want to carry the fender for $200?
Wow. Yeah, now, the angle here, the angle is going to be something like, listen, buddy. Listen. It's snowbird season. Huh? We got to move cars. We got deals. We've got wheels. I don't know.
Huh.
Some of the other stories while you're doing that. Let's see here. I just want to say.
So here's Massachusetts.
Oh, here we go.
It's 1,000.
Here's the picture for. Here we go. I'm taking the screen. Here, if you take the 16 cent per mile load, here you go. This is what will happen. Your motor will fall out of your truck on the way.
This happened to my driver last week on Friday.
Oh, man.
So he was driving between Virginia and Maryland, and he'd been driving all day. Okay. And all of a sudden I'm not going to make the noise he made, but he said he heard the rumbling. And he pulled over on the side of the road and turned around, and his motor is on flames down in the median behind him, and this was what was left.
I can't accept. I'm having a really hard time hearing you.
Wow.
We don't know how, what, where. He didn't hit anything that we know of.
That's better.
But if he had just woken up and spent the night at a hotel or in the parking lot, I could see where someone had cut stuff, and we still don't know why this happened. He's still waiting for insurance
Wow.
to figure out what they're going to do on it. But yeah, that was some crazy crap. I can honestly say that's never happened to me before.
And so then, now, was he loaded or what?
No, he only had one car on, thank goodness.
Oh, okay,
So,
good. What did he do with the one car?
he had to go get another truck at the house and
Oh, he had another truck at the house. Good
come
deal.
back, grab it. He was only 90 miles away, so it wasn't too bad, thank God.
Oh, wow, that could have been way worse. So, here's a question. Whoops. Wait a minute. I didn't properly share that, did I? Another question. Does Enterprise have a load board?
Not that I'm aware of.
I know, I've never heard of that. I want to know.
I always pick up cars
Yeah.
through brokers. In fact, I mean, I'm
never
picking
heard of
up
that.
one in Enterprise in Wayland, Michigan right now.
It's an
And it was
interesting.
through,
It's an interesting idea, though, isn't it?
yeah.
I know. That's what I thought. Anyways, this guy says he heard they have a website, but I've never heard of that. But I would like to know. I want to know about any load board. I want to know every load board there is. Right? Okay, you can take the screen back whenever
Yeah,
you're
me
ready.
too.
But yeah, tell me. Load me up with load boards.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else we got here? Oh, and Mike said, right, Damon, thank you. That's the transmission. Thank you, Damon. Matt Mendoza, if possible, later in the stream, could we see pick up 50 miles to San Antonio, dropping off anywhere in Texas? If not, no biggie, thanks. Yeah, we'll take a look at that, Matt. And I think... Oh, okay. So we'll do...
So we're finishing up Massachusetts to Florida real quick.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Then we got New York to Florida. Oh yeah, please do share your screen when you're
that's
ready.
where we're at.
Sue.
We're in Albany.
Okay. Yeah, we're in Albany.
I'm not on there.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at Albany.
Thank you guys so much
Here's
for tuning in, by the way. That's so cool. Appreciate it.
From Albany to Haines City, Florida. It's for BWT though, so good luck.
I love it. I love that one.
Let's see. Here's another one to Orlando, $700. I mean, these aren't going to pay that great. This is not snowbird season any longer, so that would be why it's not going to, be great. So we're not seeing a whole lot on here, honestly. Here's Montway has one, but look, it actually says it's picking up in Sherburne, New York.
Oh, actual pickup, actual delivery.
Yes, you love those, don't you?
God.
Let's see where it's really at. Hold on.
I mean, why? Why can't we just... Speaking of, I had somebody...
I get it sometimes.
I know they do it every time. I mean, it's... Okay. Allegedly, it feels like every time.
I mean, I understand. Okay, so there's certain situations I can see doing
every time. It feels
so here's
like
the problem.
Every
this is why they do
time.
it.
Okay.
Well, this is why they do it. Okay, so if you're in Albany, you're not going to get this load because you only have a 100-mile radius. All right, so it's 118 miles. Maybe you're going that way. The biggest thing that I have happen is like, okay, so say you're in Albany and this car is way down here 120 miles. You're also not going to see that load. I mean, this load doesn't make sense. But if it was down here in, I'm going to just say Poughkeepsie, okay, that's not going to come up when you put in Albany. And not everybody knows to do multiple searches to find cars. So they put it on there so that you'll see it. I mean, Fisher Shipping does it a lot too. And it usually works for me wherever they're actually saying it's out of. Like for example, if you were only looking in Louisville, like if you put in Kentucky only, not everybody knows that Clarksville, Indiana is Louisville as well. And there's a Manheim there. So if you put in Kentucky to someplace and you didn't put in Louisville, you're not going to see that there's a car in Clarksville, Indiana that was right there for you. So there's some reasoning behind some of it. Some of it doesn't make sense. Like this one, I'm giving them a little bit on this because if you're going to Florida, you're not coming over here and dropping down from there. You're not driving 120 miles. Most people are just dropping straight down. But that's why they're doing what they're doing is so that other people can see their loads.
Sue, you know what?
Really not a lot.
Good job. I
Yes.
like that because here's the thing: is you do. You have to see it. You have to see. You have to see it both ways, or either way, or the perspective, or whatever. It's a really good point. You know that the thing is, what happens is I've been rubbed so raw with actual pickup, actual delivery, like all the time. And by the way, with Fisher Shipping, see, usually they pay a little bit better, right?
Oh, Fisher Shipping usually pays outrageous.
Exactly. I'm just going to say that, I did. Somebody in the past week that was railing against brokers, they were body slamming that company, the actual pickup, actual delivery company.
Yeah.
And reminding me of why I'm so irritated with them at times. I mean, they are just.
I mean, if they're really doesn't make sense, it irritates me too. But if it's like on the route and you just couldn't see it, I totally get it.
Mike wants to see that load again, by the way. Actual pickup, actual delivery, LLC. Mike wants to see it. Let's take a look.
Right there.
Where is it?
And it's really 118 miles to the west of Albany. And funny thing is, look at this. It actually shows up on the board right there.
Well, that's it. That's it. See, there's another reason. I already saw it, so now I'm seeing it twice. Which one is the actual? Which one's the potential?
Right.
It's sad.
Well, because it tells you actual pickup is in Sherburne, so you do know where it really is picking up.
You sure are being understanding today, Sue.
I am being nice right now.
Wow. Well, it's because you got the burn out of your system. You burn this guy over here, then you're understanding over here. I can't get a fix.
Well, like I said, I sometimes get it. I totally get some of this. I don't really get, only because if it's coming up in the same, it should come. You shouldn't list it both ways. If it was something, I don't even know how this is showing up because it's really 118 miles. I looked it up. It's just happening to come up in this 84. And just so everybody knows, if Central tells you it's 84 miles, that is not right. Obviously, it's 118.
There she is. There's
just looked it up.
We know.
Yes. So it is 118 miles. I wouldn't have thought it would have shown up on here, except that this is screwed up. Central uses air miles. They do not use drive miles. So that's part of your problem with, how many miles it really is. Because look, I looked it up. This is really how many it is. It's 118 miles from Albany. So it shouldn't have come up on the search on a normal search.
When you're dealing with remote mountainous regions, air miles can be way different from actual miles.
Way different. Yes, absolutely.
West Virginia, Kentucky, Idaho, much.
Yes.
Damon asks, is it easier to dispatch for normal freight or cars? I'm more familiar with cars because of my background. I was told by car hauler that most car haulers don't use dispatchers. Well, as far as dispatchers go, some do, some don't. I don't know how you delineate that. Freight versus cars, I would assume freight's easier. Freight has different parameters, but it's mostly bumping docks and, truck ordered, not used, and those kinds of things. Whereas in car hauling, man, I mean, it could be a jukebox or a box of avocados or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah,
could be a car wrapped around a tree, and then they want you to walk the dog. I mean, that's
And it's definitely less work for the guy.
Yeah, and honestly, freight is going to be less work for a driver. I mean, as long as you're just pulling in, dropping off, that kind of thing. It's just like working for Amazon. You're just pulling in, backing up, hooking on a trailer, and leaving, kind of thing. So it's different. I have heard from a lot of people though, you sit a lot more with freight than you do with car hauling. If it's even where they're loading and unloading you, sometimes you're sitting for hours. And if you don't show up at the right time for delivery, you may be sitting till the next day. But as far as dispatching it, I know that usually if you're dispatching freight, you need to be up at 6 a.m. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And you're working from 6 to 1, 2 o'clock. Then they stop posting loads. But if you're not there first thing, you're not getting the good loads. And keep in mind too, freight can pay 30, 45, 60 days out. Mm-hmm. You are not getting the same thing as a car where you're, some of it's COD, some of it's not. Some people only want COD, so there you have it. So I don't like freight just because I'm already doing what I'm doing. I don't want to get up at 6 a.m. too on top of what I'm doing. And so I've been doing this for over 15 years with just dispatching. And I know he was saying about drivers, this and that. Some drivers out there don't even know there's such a thing as dispatchers. I think the more we have done this show, I think the more people have realized this, that there's people out here like us that do this for them so that they can just drive. Because most of the people are doing this for themselves while they're driving. They're looking at the load boards,
Dude,
getting their cars.
crazy, right?
They don't verify. They don't.
You got 25,000 pounds, and you're still steering with your knees so you can refresh the.
Yes,
that's crazy.
Yes, and I talked to one guy one time, and he said he would sit on Monday at his house and load himself up for Tuesday. He would do that load, and then he'd have to sit at his house, or a hotel or wherever for the whole day again. Because honestly, sometimes it takes us all day long to get a load all together. And maybe sometimes part of the next day, depending on
I can
what
barely
time
get
of
a
year
sandwich in.
Exactly.
Right?
I very rarely.
How many times
lunch, okay?
have you had food on your desk and you're literally working around your food?
Yes.
All the time. So I can't imagine driving a truck and searching for loads. That seems crazy.
Yeah.
Which is why
Yeah.
when people rail against dispatchers, I cannot understand that. Do you hate the janitor that much too?
Yeah.
Stinking guys always cleaning the
I
toilets.
don't even know how dispatchers got such a bad name, because what they're saying that we're doing isn't even anything we can do.
Here's some truth. You want some truth? Here's a truth bomb.
Yeah.
Folks that rail against dispatchers have a long list of people they rail against. It's a long. Get in line. Yeah.
True.
So you just have to. Okay, fine. You don't like anybody. Okay, I got it. Okay, next.
Yeah.
Hey, we got 10 minutes left, so we're gonna try something. Okay, speed round. Ready? We have two searches. All right. I want you to pull up two windows. Okay. On the one hand, we're going to do Bowling Green, Kentucky. And let's do within like a 500-mile radius. So Bowling Green, Kentucky for 500. And then we're going to do San Antonio, maybe over the road, 800 to 1,000 miles.
Okay, so to do a 500-mile radius, we got to figure out what states that would be.
Exactly. We got to go to the map.
Because you can't just do 500-mile radius.
Yeah,
I wish we could. That would be a great search option.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Ooh. Well,
there you go.
But you just said they don't know what's going on. So let's say you told them that. They'd be like, the green, you got the green wire and the blue wire. Like what?
Well, I'm going to put it up here. Okay, so 500-mile radius, we got Atlanta, we've got Missouri, we've got Tennessee. Let's see what else. Probably Little Rock, perhaps. Yeah. So we could do Arkansas, and that would put us all the way up, probably Bowling Green to places in Ohio. I don't think it'll get us to Detroit, though. Hold on. Michigan. Yeah, it does give us to Detroit. Okay, so let's put in. There's my page.
All right. So pro tip, step one: look at the map.
Arkansas.
Get a map, Jay. I used to have a driver who said, "Jay, get a map," and he sent me a map. He actually mailed me a map.
Illinois, Indiana. I don't think. Probably Iowa.
Oh, it's hilarious.
We're not going to look in Kentucky because there's nothing going to be there. Michigan.
Right. Eduardo, that's why I got the referee shirt and I got the flags and I got to do something to keep my sanity.
I'm just putting up what I think might fit in this parameter here.
Because it ain't going to be the money. Let's go there. While she's doing a search filter, let's go back to the Mug-O problems. Let's find something in here. These are all the possible things that go wrong when dispatching. I'm not your fleet manager and compliance officer.
Isn't Charlie?
I am not your fleet manager and compliance officer. I'm your dispatcher.
You don't even need to put in the S.
I don't know what they're going to do with the scales.
Let's see what we got here. So how many cars are we looking for, or is this just random? What are we doing here?
Let's just, since we don't know, think 3 to 4. We'll always do
Okay.
the 3
Well,
to
there's a
4.
4-pack right here going in from Clarksville. That's
Ooh, okay.
that's actually Louisville. That's what I was just talking about.
Nice.
That's,
Yeah.
that's Louisville.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would fit on and it wouldn't fit on well, actually my 4-car flatbed that would fit on. I wouldn't do that load, but it would work.
But so we're
So
seeing vehicle transport solutions. If we keep seeing them, make a note. We're just going to see Wholesale Express. Make a note.
Another one.
Right. Know
Yep.
your brokers.
Yep.
At minimum, just start to get to know your brokers. Assertus.
And honestly, unless you do local stuff like this, 181, the reason why I'm saying I wouldn't do this load is because I got to get my drivers a certain amount a day, and that doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
I want them to make, $1,000 to $1,200 a day on average, depending on, how many miles they're going. I mean, that's an excellent load. I'm not arguing that point, but unless I took him there and I could get him out of Logansport the same day, that doesn't make my quote.
Right.
So let's see what else we got here.
Ooh, Russell Smith Ford. Click on that. Where are they at?
That's
Are they in Louisville?
I guarantee you they're in Iowa. No,
Oh, they're in Iowa. Okay.
I think that's where they're from.
Good call.
No, they're in Houston.
They're in Houston? What?
Well, that's weird.
That is weird.
That's weird.
Okay.
They must, well, look, and they're going to 2 different places too. You got
I wonder
one
if
in
they
Peoria and one
maybe
in
they
Lake Park, Iowa.
customized it. I bet it's lifted.
Yeah, they're 2021s. They might be lifted. You see how this one's paying really good.
Or it's got
And
a
then
wrap
I guarantee
on it,
you,
or...
you might be able. Yeah, you could probably do both of these. I bet you go right through Peoria to get to this place, but not everybody's gonna be able to take 2 F-250s.
Correct. And if you're new, don't try. You do not want to be the next flip of the week.
Yeah.
His address
And honestly, Mount Juliet. Someone was asking about Nashville earlier too.
Yeah.
The auction was yesterday. It usually ends like 12, 1 o'clock, but sometimes the loads come in from that time all the way to today, which looks like there's some popping up right now. You got a 3-pack going to Champaign, which I think is before you get into Chicago. And then he's got another 8-pack here. So he might be willing to split these up for you too. You never know if you're needing to go home. And out of Nashville, a lot of stuff runs to Charlotte area, Illinois, Ohio, if you're lucky, because you want to get to Ohio because you get really good loads out of there. I wouldn't do Cincinnati. I'd be looking for Cleveland or Detroit myself, because that's where you're going to get your bank out of.
Right, because what's the distance from Bowling Green to Cincinnati? That ain't far enough, right?
No, huh?
Yeah.
No. And I mean, you're going to have to, Bowling Green is about 60 miles north of Mount Juliet.
You're a car hauler.
So you're going to...
Right? Loading and unloading shouldn't be something you're doing... Well, how do we want to finish that sentence? I don't want to get
myself... You're always going to be loading and unloading.
But I mean, loading and unloading is... It's not the hardest part of the job.
Hard?
It's important.
No, but it's the most time consuming, I guess, if you want to look at...
Right.
I mean, yes, you may be driving, hours, but it's not the same as, taking one off to put the other one in the other spot and then chaining them all back on. And,
right, exactly. Now you're shuffling and yeah. You got to get paid if you're gonna be constantly shuffling. You want to be getting paid for that.
Yeah.
And that's a niche that some people are like, yeah, I'll shuffle all day long. Whereas other folks are like, I want to load and I want to drive to Alaska. Speaking of, and I know we've only got a few minutes left, this is looking pretty good. I want you to do San Antonio here in a minute. What's going on? Okay, driver and windshield. What's happening? What's happening with driver and windshield?
Okay, so listen to this one.
Oh no.
So Julia will love it when I start it like that.
Yeah.
So we picked up 3 3500s in Manheim, Dallas that were going up to Michigan, Minnesota area. And when one of the vehicles didn't run, and Manheim, who usually does not, 3 3500s.
Wow.
and it was paying. It was paying $2,700. It was paying really, really good.
Okay.
So, anyways, one of the vehicles didn't run, but they sold it to the guy as a run and drive. So, guess I've never had Manheim do this. They said we will load it, even though we don't do that here. We sold it to him as a run and drive. We'll get it on your truck.
Okay.
I'm like, holy crap! Okay, we're doing this thing.
Okay.
So, while they're loading this, the other truck that's on there, the emergency brake did not work.
No.
So it slams into breaks the windshield. Okay.
Okay.
So we've got to cover it because it's not their fault. This happened, you know.
Oh.
So, and it's only an 07, by the way. So windshield should not be that bad, right? 07, you know,
Wouldn't
I'm
think.
thinking $400 or $500. Yeah. So we call the guy.
Sucks, though.
I'm always upfront with people with what is going on. We call the guy in Michigan or wherever the hell he was at, Wisconsin, and we tell him what's going on. We tell him that the one truck doesn't run. They're going to load it, but we're bringing it because he still wanted it. And while this was going on, we broke the windshield. Can you get us an estimate and send it to us that way? The driver will pay you when he gets there. We're upfront about it all. We even, you know, we tell wholesale and everybody because that's who the broker was on. So we're waiting for this estimate to come through because he's like, well, because we said we'll call Safe Light if nothing else. Because Safe Light will come out and do it, as everybody knows, and sometimes they're pretty cheap anyways to do it. And he goes, no, I have an in-house place. This is my dealership. They can do it right there. I said, okay. Are you okay with the driver paying you with a credit card when he gets there? Sure, that's fine. I said, I need the quote though. So we finally get it when we're almost 10 miles away.
No.
And let me tell you, it was $1,100.
No.
Yeah. But this is the quote. The quote just says,
could you tell the guy was like playing, you know, what did he sound like?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
there's more to the story. Yeah.
Listen, buddy.
So he sends us this, and the quote says, driver broke windshield, and it just says $1,100. That's it. That's all it says. Doesn't break it down, nothing.
Driver broke windshield, which threw a
said,
rod.
Yeah. Yeah. So we call wholesale, and I send them this quote, and I said, you know, we've already called Safe Light.
Wholesale's the broker on this?
Yeah. Yeah. So we call them and we say, you know, we've already got a quote from Safe Light. It was only like $340. We even called a Dodge dealership there, and the most they were going to charge was like $538. There's something, you know, going on. We can't pay this. That's ridiculous,
yeah, no,
right?
It's not even close.
So
right.
even wholesale said that's not a real quote. We need a real quote broken down. But you know, yeah, no, they were totally on our side. They saw what was going on. But anyways, so the driver shows up and he's like, so what do I say to this guy? I said, you tell him you're dropping off his vehicle, but wholesale's working with us. We'll get this done, but we're not paying $1,100. Not when we've got other quotes for less money. Because that's the way it works. It's not whatever you want us to pay. You know what I mean? So
nope.
As he's telling the driver and telling this guy that, he's like, oh man, I thought you worked for a really big corporation. They're just going to pay it. I'll just give me $400 in cash and we're done.
Oh, really? No. Wow.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, man.
Can I say that high enough?
Wow.
OMG. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were the government, you know? I didn't mean to shake you down. Wow. I mean, that's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I thought you had a company card and you were going to just pay me that.
I like how he was. I like how he changed his tune, but it sure is odd.
Yeah, isn't it? I thought that was really crazy. And then he left. The driver left, and the guy called him up and said that he didn't want to work with his broker any longer, but he would to work with us.
No, I mean, I'd be like, you know what? That's you're cool and all, but you're like real shady. Like you're like Slim Shady, dude. Like
I'm like, nope. He's like, what do you want me to tell him? Wow. You just tell him no. That's what you tell him.
Be like,
Yeah.
this is why you sleep with one foot on the floor. You know.
Yeah. And I sent an email to wholesale and all the parties involved because when you're dealing with big corps, you're dealing with multiple people. And I told them what went down because they need to know. You know what I mean? That's some shady stuff.
Yeah, that is.
I work with wholesale. I work with the big brokers all the time, and I don't want to,
Mm.
ruin my relationships with them. And all of my drivers haul for them. So I'd rather just be upfront and let everybody know what the heck just happened, so they can deal with
Wow.
it. I mean, if I was the broker, I would say I ain't working with this guy no more. But that's
Yeah.
just me.
Well,
But
yeah.
just kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is an interesting story. That was a great story. I know we're a little over time, and we didn't search San Antonio. Let's do 10 more minutes. I think this Bowling Green, there's some stuff here. Let's look at this. Let's do the San Antonio look. We're doing San Antonio to over the road Gold Bars, which there should be something there. And while we do that, once you get that pulled up, we've got one more.
They've got, see these vans that Anu has in Evansville, Indiana, going to Springfield for $1,100. It's $1.43 a month. That's good money.
Ooh.
They've actually got 3, but probably will put 2 on there.
Hey, so, that is good. Well, and they knew that. They already split it up. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Like my guy could take all 3 of them, the flatbed guy, but most people can't. Most people are going to have a hard time with just 2. All right. So San Antonio, you want to do a 500-mile radius on that too?
No, I want to do. I want to
bars.
Yeah, I want it exactly. I want San Antonio 50 miles or 100 miles, gold bars over the road.
Okay, so gold bars to me and you are usually $1 a mile, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Let's get some money.
All right. There's gonna be 12 loads or something.
Right. Right.
Oh, there's 51. Okay, so let's see what we got. So we got Cars Arrive has got one going to Louisiana.
Oh, dang it. Hey, look, flag on the play. He wanted in-state for San Antonio, says Michael.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So San Antonio to Texas.
Well, put the gold bars away. You got those copper pieces? Get those out. No, okay, I'm just kidding. That's not even funny, Jay.
Texas. Hold on. All right. And then we'll just go to Texas. Does he have, how many cars does he hold? Do we have that?
I don't know his capacity. But thank you. I appreciate that, Michael. I really do. But it's disappointing because the thing is, here's why I say it's disappointing. And you'll find this is across the board. Any dispatcher that's been dispatching is going to have the same reaction. When you stay inside of a state, you feel it's like tying an arm behind your back. Okay, now go have fun. Okay. All right, well, I'm going to try.
Okay. All right, so
which is a lot like that's why if you're going to stay inside of a state and give me the 12,000 pound restriction, it's martini time.
Yeah.
Really, Brad? As often as you work with me, you ask that.
Okay, so we have 120 loads from San Antonio to Texas. Most of the stuff you're always going to see if you're doing local.
Yeah.
And is it 3? Okay.
Yeah.
So most of the time if you're doing local, this is what I consider local. They're gonna run to Houston. They're gonna run to Dallas.
Houston.
Looks like there's some stuff on here.
And thank goodness
now,
Texas is a big state, so that we have that. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a bunch on here right now going to Houston. There's one going to Dallas. There's another Houston, Dallas. And Dallas. Now, and keep in mind, if you're in San Antonio and you're going to Dallas, you're going to go right through Austin. So that's why these Austins are coming up. Not necessarily going to happen when you're going to Houston, though.
Silverman says time is money. It is time is money, and you also what you're going to find out is you're going to be done before your dispatcher has your backhaul. So something's not going to work. Either the dispatcher's going to get frustrated, the driver's going to spend too much time driving around. You're going to be, you're going to be picking up and dropping off in the middle of the road on frontage roads in Houston. You're going to have that close call where some pedestrian, thinks that your car hauler is a parking lot. Anyways, it's just
yeah. So, I mean, that's what most of this stuff is going to be, Dallas and Houston.
Oh, great.
And that's basically what we're looking at right now is those. And I've had people try to make the circle, like you go from San Antonio to Houston and then up.
Dallas,
Houston, the problem with Houston, coming out of Houston, going up to Dallas, the loads are really crappy.
Oh, I know.
I mean, they're horrible.
How is that possible? Yeah, is it? It's like chutes
I
and
just think
ladders.
they can get away with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
a,
mean that's
so
what I think
Houston to
it is.
Dallas is literally a ladder. It's a thin,
Yeah.
it's a rope ladder. You got to kind of climb up and see if you can make it.
You would be better off to go from San Antonio to Dallas and Dallas to Houston and then maybe Houston to San Antonio because Dallas to Houston at least will pay better than the other way around.
I agree with you. And
And
then you can
usually San Antonio and Austin pay pretty good going to Dallas. And you can probably go back and forth between those two, to be honest, than trying to go to Houston. Houston is just horrible to drive around into.
yeah,
Just keep that in mind.
yeah.
A lot of them, a lot of
Word.
the places you're dropping at are port warehouses, not
Oh,
or
man.
the like this Freeport. This is the port.
It seems like and there's so many dealerships in Houston that are like, yeah, we don't need anywhere for the transporter to park. They'll just
Yeah.
load it in the street. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
everybody's
set it right
driving
there.
like it's a freaking Indy 500
Yep.
go-kart
Yep.
smash up deal. What do they call those?
Yeah.
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 What do they call those where you wreck your cars and you drive into each other until your car is so wrecked can't drive? What do they call those? It was big in the 70s. Smash Up Derby.
Yeah.
Smash Up Derby?
Yeah, there you go.
Houston is a
Derby.
Smash Up Derby. Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, that's really, I mean, there are some stuff going down low. San Angelo is down low. I don't know if you can get back out, though.
And I like that too. When you drop down to like, is it not Lake Victoria, but like Port Lavaca, not all the way down to McAllen.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get out of
Right.
McAllen. But
it's
if you
hard,
hit some
I
of
think.
those Gulf cities that are below,
Yeah.
you can get some stuff. And then that's where you start to mess around and you can head over to like Midland and get those oil field trucks or whatever. But yeah, Texas is really interesting.
Yeah. I
Demolition
mean, honestly, that's
Derby.
the
Demolition
route for
Derby.
San Antonio. I would stay on a main track, which would be Dallas, Houston, Austin,
Right. Right.
San Antonio, that kind of thing. Because as you can see, like some of this stuff is cheap, some of it's not bad, but nobody wants to pick up a car for $125. I'm sorry, 43 cents a mile is not going to hack it.
No.
I wouldn't do it for 55 cents a mile.
No.
It just doesn't make any sense.
And I was talking to somebody about this too. Like, there will always be somebody that will take the low ball because there will always be somebody that's going to go out of business, and then there will always be somebody to replace them. So don't. On the one hand, right? You can't. If you're a 3 or 4 car, don't try to compete with the 9 car, and also don't think that you can get rid of the low ballers. Just there always will be the low hanging fruit. There always will be.
And honestly, if you're wanting to do this Texas thing, this would be a thing you want to talk to Ty about too. It's all about building relationships. Whenever you're wanting to do, like this is considered local, you're going to want to talk to somebody to teach you how to go in and talk to these dealerships that will actually call you instead of putting it on the load board. Because that's where you're going to make your money at. You can't do these for this price. $125, $150 to go all the way to Dallas at 50 cents a mile. You'll never make a dime off doing this.
Hey, Keith has, and I think we're going to go here in a minute. Keith is talking about how much are your fees. I think he's talking about what's your dispatch fee. I'm going to go ahead and answer this in a generic way, and then I'm going to hand it to Sue.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, no,
Okay,
Sue, jump right in. Please do.
Well, I charge 9%. That includes everything that we do, including accounting. So we, as my ad will tell you, we book, we load you, we verify them. We have an accounting staff that checks to see if they've got your paperwork, what day it's coming out, when it's going to be paid to you. And once a week, we send you out an invoice and an accounts receivable so you can keep track of it, as well as when it, in case something doesn't come in, we've got a date, we've got a person's name who told us when it was supposed to have been out. And I will tell you, since COVID happened, everybody's lying about everything now.
Man,
So,
really? I thought we were all in this together. We're not?
Yeah, they were not.
We didn't get the memo?
But yeah, we didn't get the memo.
Oh, shoot.
Like, for example, like,
I love that stuff.
Yeah, well, and you figure, like, brokers that I've worked with for years are not paying when they say they're paying, and they act like it's no big deal. It's like, oops, sorry, we forgot to send out your check.
Oh, I know. Oops, I'm sorry. Oops,
Yeah.
I did it again. So 9% is actually not bad. Here's the thing, is that if you get in the, if you feel yourself saying, I got to pay them and I got to pay you.
Yeah.
Then there's a problem. And if the communication
Yes.
breaks down, so there's many red flags in the relationship. But if things are going right and your dispatcher's working hard, that 9%, one of the things is they're trying to raise the money you make so that when you pay that 9%, you don't feel it. And also,
Right.
you're not working, you're not spinning your wheels looking for loads. You spend your time driving, unloading, and working.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and I guarantee you, we probably get you
delicate
20% more,
right,
at least 20% more
exactly.
for us for our services
Right.
than you sitting in a truck and trying to book your own loads and losing a day.
So
Even if you lose one day, my 20% is covered. My 9% is covered. Let's just do it that way.
if you ever begin to
We're
feel
kind of your office while you're on the road.
that's right, and so if you start to feel like your dispatcher is just sucking off your profit, and that goes for anything.
Yeah.
Then you got a problem,
Yeah.
and it's time to dump and go move on and either do it, try somebody else. So, but 9%, that is the price range that makes sense to me too. Because if it's 5, then you're unmotivated as a dispatcher. You're not making any money, and now here's what now you're gambling on what the driver's able to do to try to raise your rate. And now you're not making smart business decisions. So it can't be too low, or what's the point? Here, Keith says, we dispatch freight for 8%. That's a good rate. Nice. There you go, Keith. That makes sense.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
Hey, Keith, if you have a freight dispatching business, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. We want to know. And because sometimes we get people looking for a freight referral, right?
Hey, that reminds me.
Yeah.
You know the freight referral you gave me the other day?
Yeah.
That guy went to work for him. He says they're awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm getting them awesome loads. There you go.
That is so cool. That was... I can never remember. Was it PJ's? PJC?
I don't remember. I just forwarded it to the guy.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to put that.
And
I'm
he
going
called
to
me
put
up and
that.
told me how great.
I welcome people, use the live chat. Promote your business.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here's pjcfreighthaulers.com. Keith, go ahead and put yours in the and if you're a driver, put your company, you can put your company name in the live chat. You can put it in the YouTube comments below. And here we go. Keith at Paragon. I've heard of Paragon. Very cool.
Yeah, I have too.
Yeah, Keith, great. That's awesome, man. Thanks for connecting with us. And yeah, because we know, listen, freight and cars, can be very, it's apples and oranges. Now, there's some similarities, but like a car hauler at a truck stop talking to a 53-foot dry van freight driver, they know they have very different businesses. They might be at the same truck stop, very different businesses. So if we can help, answer questions, give referrals, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the end of the show, man. Shoot, we're way over time, but it's been a great show. And I've really... Sue, thank you so much.
No problem.
This was... shoot, man. This is episode 41 of Dispatching Live.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is.
That is amazing. So, and thank you guys so much in the live chat, saying hello, putting in your Route Scout requests, your questions, recommendations, clarifications, objections, and what have you. So, thanks everybody. Thursdays at noon, Central Time, 90 minutes plus, Dispatching Live. Tomorrow is Cars on the Move. We're going to be live with Ty. Actually, tomorrow is a special edition of Cars on the Move. We have the Block of Melting Ice with Tim Skatellis. It's going to be a new featured guest every month, last Friday of every month. Tim Skatellis is with Max Digital and talking about dealers connecting with carriers and getting into the specifics of why dealers want their cars so fast. So he's going to get into some of that. And knowing, this gets into being able to talk to dealers, because we want you to grow your business, build your business, and know how to talk to brokers and dealers and, you know, whoever at the auction, the dispatcher, etc. So knowledge is king. Well, cash is king, and then knowledge is the queen. Does anybody say that? I don't know. All right, well, listen, thank you guys so much. This is Dispatching Live. I'm your host, Jay. You're watching Auto Transport Intel. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much, Sue. Thanks, everybody out there in TV land. Stay safe,
Thank you.
stay loaded, and we'll see you soon.